그댄 좋은 느낌과 기분 좋은 향기로 내 맘에 날아왔죠. Maybe I'm falling in love. 잠든 내 마음을 다시 일깨워줘. Could I be falling in love? Maybe I'm falling in love. 따뜻한 이불 속 그대를 그리는 나만의 장소에요. 조금씩 번지는 이런 내 맘을 어떻게 할까요? 이렇게 혼자 걱정하진 않을 거예요. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, 고민도 없이 지금 내게 날아가겠죠. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, 기분 좋으니 바람을 타고 with you, 어디든 당장 날아갈 수 있을 것 같죠. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly. Fly, fly, 너와 나 예쁜 곳만 보나 봐. 널 따라갈 땐 네 손 꼭 잡고 가는 것. 내 맘에 날아왔죠. 비밀이야. Maybe I'm falling in love. That's right. 네 작은 손짓에 내 맘이 설레는 건 Could I be falling in love? 비밀이야. Maybe I'm falling in love. That's right. 따뜻한 이불 속 그대를 그리다 혼자 또 웃음이 나. 조금씩 번지는 이런 내 맘을 어떻게 할까요? 내 맘 이렇게 혼자 걱정하진 않을 거예요. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, 고민도 없이 지금 내게 날아가겠죠. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, 기분 좋으니 바람을 타고 with you, 어디든 당장 날아갈 수 있을 것 같죠. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, 아무 예고 없이 찾아와. 그래서인지 난 더 기분이 묘해. 하루하루 밤이 길어져. 아무래도 너무 생각이 많아 졌나봐. 이렇게 혼자 걱정하진 않을 거예요. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, 고민도 없이 지금 내게 날아가겠죠. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, 기분 좋으니 바람을 타고 with you, 어디든 당장 날아갈 수 있을 것 같죠. If I were a butterfly, if I were a butterfly, butterfly.
Good evening and welcome back to not the Holy Roman Empire. Where's my game gone? There it is. Because we are now playing as... Sorry, looking for a bit of foam to stop my legs overheating. I've completely mislaid it. We are now playing as Queen Adalberta of Egypt. And I completely forgot about the IRC laptop as well. This is not going well. So... Last session, the Kaiser Antonio of the Holy Roman Empire was the largest contributor to the Crusade for Egypt. And as a result, his nominated Crusade beneficiary got to become Queen of Egypt. And I'm now playing as her. Actually, it's a bit more complicated than that, in that his original Crusade beneficiary was Hildebert di Spoleto. But while out crusading, Kaiser Antonio managed to occupy all three counties of a de jure duchy that was not part of the Crusade target, but was controlled by one of the Crusade defenders. which is some of the conditions required to create a Crusader state. And so he created the Crusader Duchy of Sirte, and placed Hildeburg, his then Crusade beneficiary, in charge of it, and then appointed a new Crusade beneficiary in the form of Queen Adalberta. Both of them are female genius di Spoletos, so either of them would have been a pretty good player character, though Adalberta does have a truly ludicrous martial score now. I mean, she started off pretty well being a genius skilled tactician, but she's also just gained Crusader armor, Blade of the Cross, which each get her +1, and the Crusader Queen trait, which gets her another +3. So yes, she's kind of scary now. And my reason for creating this Crusader state was largely because Egypt is in two parts, separated by the Duchy of Sirte. So clearly Egypt had managed to fully occupy this duchy. Is it singular duchy? Yes, the Duchy of Tripolitania out here, but hadn't quite managed to occupy the Duchy of Sirte for long enough for it to become de jure part of Egypt. So I wanted that I didn't want a great big infidel hole blown in the centre of my Crusader kingdom, and so I made sure that became a Crusader state. Plus, we've never managed to get or at least I've never been there when we've managed to get the Crusader state option when any of Verity's games. So I thought I should at least try to achieve it in one of mine. So, what is going on here then? We can now kind of ignore the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire is the AI's problem, and it's already bizarrely moved its capital to Worms, which seems like a really weird idea from a tech point of view, because its tech level's much lower up there than in, at least I think so. So that's the situation in Capua. And that's the situation in Worms. I can just looking at that see there are nowhere near as many yellow squares. Oh no, that's not mine. That's Worms. That's even worse. What are you on? You strange AI. Anyway, we do not need to concern ourselves with the machinations of the Holy Roman Empire, except insofar as it's the largest power in Europe, because we are now in Africa. So what are the consequences of this? Well, one is that Adalberta has a truly terrible council, and we really need to fix that. She has appointed no one to any minor titles. So Adalberta we didn't start playing as Adalberta the moment she took the throne, so she got to do a few things on her own before we arrived. And one of them was to appoint her council, which, yeah. Her vassals are basically the Crusade beneficiaries of those people who did best in the who contributed most to the Crusade after Kaiser Antonio. So they're an utter scattering of people from across Europe. Our Chancellor is a German di Spoleto. That's nice. But on the other hand, our Marshal is an Anglo-Saxon of Durham dynasty. We've got those three are all lowborn. Yes, so her immediate vassals were so terrible. Only two of her real vassals, noble. That's not quite the word. Vassals from a great house actually got jobs at all. So let's have a look at the other ones around here. Like we have, a Hungarian. And another Anglo-Saxon, and another German. I mean, we're not that inconsistent, but yeah, they're a bit of a scattering, which will probably lead to some friction, because they're all going to have, or at least many of them will have, foreigner penalties against Queen Adalberta. Look, we're all foreigners here. This is Egypt. So possibly I want to try to like improve the tolerance of our people to reduce that penalty a bit. So what else is going on? Well, obviously, essentially all of this area is still Sunni. Well, quite a lot of this area is still Sunni, in that all of the populace are still Muslims, even though the rulers are Catholic. The exceptions are the capital provinces, which appear to have been automatically converted in both the Crusader states, and that there's this scattering of monophysitism around Egypt. And what the hell's going on there? All right, now that's and one county of monophysitism. Monophysitism being treated in game, at least, as a heresy of monophysitism. Monophysitism is fairly rare, but there's a bit of it down here. So that will be we'll probably want to try to get a really good court chaplain and convert some people. Another interesting thing is that, of course, being in Egypt, we have some great works. We have the lighthouse at Alexandria, which provides us currently with a slight increase in local taxes because someone's built nothing, actually. I think that's just from it being the lighthouse, because it has 0 of 8 improvements, and some trade route income, which I think is of fairly little use, and 0.7 monthly prestige, which is nice. And there's also a little further south the Great Pyramid of Khufu, but that does not work properly, which is a slightly strange thing to say about a pyramid. Obviously, things
to sharpen razor blades.
Yes, precisely. It doesn't sharpen things properly. This is because you need to have Egyptian or Coptic culture, or be a lunatic for the pyramids to work properly, or to have pyramid creation as one of the important features of your religion. But I don't think I can do that while remaining Christian, which is a requirement for the limited set of DLC I've got. So possibly we could work out a way to turn the Despoletos of Egypt actually Egyptian or Coptic. Let's try hitting the cultures button.
But they can't walk the walk.
Thank you, Simon. Not sure we can talk the talk at the moment. So, like, we have a bunch of Egyptian culture around here. Possibly we could sort out an Egyptian count or two, and appoint them, and not appoint them, and use them to educate our children. Not sure. So we also have Nubian and we've got Coptic culture just across the river. So we could also try that. So being Coptic is of the Byzantine culture group and gives you the option to blind and castrate prisoners. Egyptian culture is of the Arabic culture group and has no special features. So yeah, maybe we could try to turn Coptic for a bit of variety. Might require some effort, because I think we really need to find people who are Coptic, and most of the people, even the lowborn ones that we've created to run cities, have turned out to be, well, in this case, Greek. And I think that's because his liege is Greek, yes. So I think when you raise someone up, they naturally end up with your culture and not not the local culture. So I'm not sure if there's a way we can like extract the local culture again now that someone has obliterated the entire territory of Coptic culture. Like there is no Coptic culture or Egyptian culture outside. Okay, technically there's some outside the Kingdom of Egypt. But yes. So another interesting thing we've got is that we actually control Cyprus. I don't know if I have any use for the fact that I control Cyprus, but it's kind of nice to have it there. We have a connection onto the Red Sea, whatever this bit is, which might be useful. The Red Sea, yes. Excuse me while I bounce my IRC across to the right place. Right. So yes, we control. We have access to the Red Sea, which makes me want to found a thingammy merchant republic on it, so that we can start be the only merchant republic on the Red Sea, like we were, not us anymore. The only merchant republic on the Baltic. Though really someone needs to take over Amalfi, but I don't think that's my job anymore. So yes, that's certainly a possibility. Cyprus might also be a good place to plant a merchant republic, but Amalfi's already controlling that part of the Mediterranean. So I think heading into the Red Sea is probably the best approach. Maybe we should try to take Socotra, though. That's quite difficult. So all of our neighbours are Muslim, I think. So like Mercuria is, and shift right click to go to the top liege of the province owner, right, and the Banu al-Farat Sultanate is Muslim, and the Tadrosid Emirate is Muslim, and Fezzan is Muslim, and I mean various other places along the coast are, except of course for the that little outpost of Holy Roman Empire, which Antonio took last session just before the Crusade, indeed during the Crusade technically, because it took a little while to do. So we could go for holy wars against them, and it is notable that none of them has anything like the 24,000 troops that Queen Adalberta currently has at her disposal. So that kind of thing would totally be achievable if we felt like it. What other things are worth noting about my current situation? What's that? A tiny independent duchy. Yes. Tiny independent Masserid emirate. Which occupies Ascalon. The fairly tiny independent emirate of Galilee. Oh yes, well, it appears that one of our vassals is already has already decided he doesn't actually need our help to enlarge the kingdom, and is going to war for I think this tiny thing here, well, for the Duchy of Jezid, technically, wrong button, Jerid, but in practice he's only going to get that county because that's the only one that intersects the people he's currently at war with, the Kingdom of Duchy of Fezzan, whatever it is. emirate of Fezzan, which includes that one little county there. So, like, I think my vassals are going to start going on holy wars, even if I don't. Oh, and we have an outbreak of some kind of disease here. It looks like. What's going on there? We have an epidemic of slow fever wandering across quite a lot of Egypt at the moment. Hasn't quite reached Fustat though, so we might be okay. Also, the Queen Adalberta has the slight problem that her heir is currently not of her dynasty. None of her titles will, if she dies right now, go to a Spoleto. And if that happens, then my game officially ends. So she could do with having some children. The Kingdom of Egypt is currently set up for agnatic cognatic primogeniture. So as soon as she has a child, we can be confident that the kingdom will stay in the dynasty. But because of her rather odd ancestry, that none of the kind of ancillary relations to whom the title will pass are Spoletos. Like if you look at it, the first three in the line, I think, are not, and then we get some. No, she's not a Spoleto either. No, basically, none of the relations to whom the title would pass are Spoletos. Interesting to note here, we actually are described as a Crusader kingdom in the Royal Laws page. We can't change the succession law for at least a decade, because we're a new ruler. So having a child is going to be the quickest way to fix the problem. So we appear to have inherited high crown authority, which is kind of odd. This means that we will get decent levies out of our vassals, whether or not they like us, but in return they won't like us very much. We currently have papal investiture, so we can't easily stuff people into bishoprics, and we currently have medium centralisation, but that's not very interesting. Mostly what that means is that we have a moderate domain size, and actually we need to dispose of one of our holdings, but there are other good reasons why we want to do that anyway.
I think medium centralisation would be ideal. It's the most middling.
Yes. So fairly obvious setup for levies, feudal levies and taxation. Church and city are both just normal. As the Holy Roman Empire, I ran with high taxation and low levies for both the church and cities. Not sure if I want to switch to those here as well. It has the advantage that it somewhat reduces the opinion penalty, and you mostly can get money out of those anyway. So yes, I'm not used to playing with high crown authority, but it's kind of tempting to try it just to see what happens. So what do we need to do? We need to get a better council. The current council is a disaster. Well, I mean, Duke Velf is a just about acceptable chancellor, to be fair. So let's go for a fairly simple search everything for men who are willing and able to join my court. So what can we do by way of chancellors? Well, we can get an extra 4 points of chancellor, and we could fix the fact that Duke Velf will be pissed off that we fired him just by sending our new chancellor to go and sweet talk him for a bit. So that's certainly tempting. He has a claim on Kent, which is nice, but we're definitely not going to press it. Much though he would love us too. Right. Who can we get by way of a marshal? Right, well, 26 is going to be much better than 15. Arguably, we want a bunch of since he's probably the highest martial skill of anyone at our disposal, we probably want to order in a bulk batch of plausible commanders. So how many commanders are we allowed to have? We can have 6 commanders, so I think there's a good argument for just ordering the 7 best available men to come and join our court. I mean inviting. Though there is also an argument that we want 2 siege leaders and 2 organisers. Well, maybe we'll go for 1 siege leader and 1 organiser. There's an organiser, Marshal 19. There's another one with 18. 18's good. Can we find a siege leader? Must be a siege leader out here somewhere. Can I have to search for it by typing it, which is kind of infuriating, and suggests there are no very available ones. There is 1 available siege. Oh no, there are 2. Oh, 15. Yeah, we'll take the 15. But let's only get that 1, because I'm not taking someone who has a martial skill of 12. So that's 3, and then I invited 2 organisers and 1 siege leader, so we want 1 more. So let's invite Meinhardt as well. He's also a holy warrior, which would be quite nice. Right. Can we find someone with a higher stewardship than 15? Yes, we can. You can get 20 from someone who looks otherwise perfectly reasonable. Backstabbingness. 22. Someone who looks generally quite decent, actually. I don't suppose we've got anyone who's content. We've got a lunatic there, but that's not much good. It needs to be the ruler who's a lunatic to get the pyramids to work. Well, let's invite Flanchad then. And finally, there is a truly excellent court chaplain available. 29. We'll have him, because we really could do with like some serious proselytization to try to fix our everyone being the wrong religion problem. So we're also going to want to appoint some people to the various.
So I missed something here. You're now not holy or very closely connected to the Pope. Isn't it easier for you to convert religion to them rather than the other way around?
No, not easily. You don't get an option for convert religion. Well, I mean, I am fairly holy. My nickname is the Sword of Jesus. I was put in here by the Holy Roman Empire as the result of a crusade. So
that's true. If you now convert, they'll just send another one.
That too, yes. I don't think I can convert to the religion of the territory. I do actually have an option, because my husband, rather oddly, is Orthodox. I think I can secretly become Orthodox.
Really?
I'm not sure this is helpful, though, when all of my vassals are Catholic. So yeah, I think it's quite hard to convert a territory's culture, so we may have to so it might be of our benefit to try to convert to a local culture, but for religion, I think it's much easier to convert the populace than ourselves. So, where was I? Yes, I was going to look at my minor titles. Possibly we should save them until we know roughly how... I suppose we know roughly how powerful our vassals are, don't we? And we know that pretty much all of them will have a fairly low opinion, especially after we've... Oh yes, we should probably be a little bit careful about designated regent, because like we're actually going to... If Adalbert is going to have children, then she is going to need a good regent to take over while she's busy doing that. Yeah, I think you're quite right. Velf is probably the best bet. Right, so now let's look at these sorted by strength. I mean, it doesn't matter so much because their opinion is not directly relevant, but because our Crown authority forces them to provide us with troops whether they like it or not. Give him the highest one because he's also our strongest vassal. Velf has already got a minor title. We can grant him another one. He can also keep our swans, at least nominally. Go. We had that weird thing that I was saying we've got one holding that we actually would like to transfer to someone. I think it's one Ina. If we look at our vassals, so the Duke of Asyut. One of the reasons why his opinion of Adalberta is only +11 is that he desires the barony of Juanina. And since Adalberta is over her domain limit, plus, like, she doesn't really care about it, I think she should hand it over to him.
With his own transfer.
Yeah. Oh no, we have to grant its grant-landed title, isn't it? Because it's a title she actually holds herself. There we are. Won't increase his opinion by 20, it'll increase his opinion by quite a lot more than 20. It's now 56 rather than 11, because not only he's got a +20 from the fact that we granted it to him, and has lost the -25 from the fact that he thought he should have had it in the first place. So that's now also brought us within our domain limit, which is nice. Right, so I suppose one other question. No, let's not. We're not going to declare war on anyone until we've got our commanders in place. So I think our plan now is unpause and allow our new councillors and our commanders to turn up, repopulate our council and our command, and then sort out what's happening next. Oh yes, and I'm watching the Holy Roman Empire at the moment, which may just get me too many messages. Especially since the new Kaiser is busy is busy changing all the laws in the Holy Roman Empire because he doesn't like the way he was doing it before. 1, 2 people have arrived, plus their families. Another person has arrived. 3. How many have I invited? 11, I think. Romania has switched to limited crown authority. 4. Five, 6, 7. Oh, he's destroyed the Kingdom of Romania. Interesting. Presumably involved increasing his crown. No, I think he could destroy it because he didn't have Gavelkind succession. And created the Duchy of Benevento. 8, 9, I think. Ten. 11. Last one to arrive was our Schoolie, who I think is likely to be our new court chaplain. To the heroic Queen Adalberta. Really, I haven't actually done anything heroic yet. Well, yes, I do claim to be the sword of Jesus, but like I'm 17 years old. I've only just been appointed to this job. I think Adalberta may actually have been a child when the Crusades began. So she now has some new people to appoint to her council. Oops. So we should put all of the correct people in there. Make sure they're... I've asked one of them to convert because he wasn't Catholic already. Appoint our 6 commanders, all of whom appear to be the wrong religion. Oh, he's a bit reluctant to go for that. Okay. How about now? Yeah, that's better. Doesn't take much bribe to get a commander to change. How does it decide what order to put my commanders in? What was that one? Was that Sebastianos? Sebastianos? No. No, I think it was not someone who needed converting anyway. We actually already had an organiser. Maybe I shouldn't have bothered getting so many organisers. And our siege leader. Right. So, that's our commanders appointed. Unpause and look at what that's setting that up has done for our troop numbers. Yes, that's improved matters a bit. Limited crown authority in the Holy Roman Empire. So, Duke Ordonio, who is Basque, has Basque culture is interesting because Basque culture allows you to have fully cognatic succession. Intriguing. Maybe I don't want to aim for Egyptian. Has fully grown up and has turned out a flamboyant schemer. He was my one child, but only barely vassal. Steph asks, what does fully cognatic mean? So there are three kinds. Sorry, technically I mean absolute cognatic. So the succession law can be set to agnatic, which means only men can inherit. Enatic, which means only women can inherit. Agnatic cognatic, which means men mostly inherit, but women can inherit if there's no adequately closely related man. Enatic cognatic, which is the inverse, and absolute cognatic, which means we pay no attention to gender at all in our succession law. Absolute cognatic succession is convenient because suddenly you minimise the amount of bouncing around between branches of the family tree that your titles do. But in order to be able to do it, there are only certain groups who can actually have absolute cognatic succession. We have the list here on the screen. One of these must be true: has culture Basque, has culture Zhangzhung, has culture Sumpa, publicly follows the Cathar, Massalian or Mazdaki religion, or has a religion that has the equality feature, which only reformed pagan ones can do. Or you can get it if you set the gender equality rule to all when you're starting the game. There is being this close to being able to being in a position where we might go for absolute cognatic succession seems like a good plan. Makes it seem like a good thing to go for. Usually the Basques are all the way over there and it would be an utter nightmare to get their culture. But I think maybe I could get that. Send any children I've got off to be educated by this guy. No, not this guy. This guy, or one of his court, if he has a court that has anyone useful in it. I mean, he is a bit pants, to be fair. I'm not sure he's really someone I want educating anyone. But on the other hand, this guy is also Basque, and would totally be an excellent person to do. He's a grey eminence. Oh, okay, no, he wouldn't. Look at those scores. No, I don't want my children being educated by someone with a martial score of 3. Do better. It's not much good. It might require a bit of care to sort out this education trait. Also, we would ideally want someone diligent or gregarious to pass it on. Pass on the culture well. None of the people he currently has is diligent or gregarious. So it may take a bit of fiddling. And like his count, the count under him, one of the counts under him is Anglo-Saxon, just to make life fun. But it is interesting having a Basque vassal conveniently lying around. So maybe I'm not going to try to become Egyptian. So yes, I should probably actually get my councillors doing something. So I think before we had 24,000 troops, but giving ourselves a better marshal and or improving the our relations with our vassals has got us up to 26,000, which is nice. So yes, I was going to make my council do some useful things, because currently we have the council members are doing nothing at all useful. Right, so we should probably start proselytising in neighbouring counties. Let's try to fix the Muslim ones first, I think. Oh, and they should be our domain counties, shouldn't they? Because the anyone else will get to fix their own counties. So that's that one. Or, hang on. Yes, obviously all the capital. Or that one. Or that one, right. So let's go for the northernmost one of those. Right. I could research military tech, but I have a distinct feeling that we're going to be going to war again fairly soon. So let's train some troops. Don't think we need extra income. So let's get some new tech by having him research economy tech. It's traditional to send our spy master to somewhere to research technology, and somewhere is traditionally Constantinople, which is presumably utterly... I mean, I say that, but actually it may be worth sending him to Capua, which probably also has excellent technology.
Research technology in the sense of printing off someone's notes.
Yeah. Study technology, but actually, yes, industrial espionage. Right, so that's all of them doing something other than my Chancellor. So I really don't need to go fabricating claims. We can just holy war the world if we have to, if we get bored. Not if we have to. We don't have any requirement to do anything in that respect. But like, if we get bored, we can just holy war the world. So instead, we should find our least happy vassal and happify them. Sorry, vassals, not court. So our least happy vassal is, in fact, Duke Ordonio of Cyrenaica. So let us look at where his capital is. It's there. And send our Chancellor to cheer him up. Right. So that's all that organised. Yeah, possibly we don't need to know about odd usurpations happening up here, but the Holy Roman Empire has apparently managed to at least lose the title of the Duchy of Brabant. Any more of my vassals gone to war yet? Do I need to do it? Oh, there's a little... Are you a, like, single county Mercurian revolt? Well, I mean... It is quite tempting to like say, okay, we'll have your territory then. I mean, I suppose that would only get me that one county. but also it really shouldn't take long. Whereas that would get us the whole duchy. Well, that would get us the duchy title and the other 3 counties. Assuming that this kid doesn't hold the duchy title. No. Because I don't actually have to jump at every revolt anymore. So Fezzan is currently at war with my vassal over here anyway. Like, the thing is, yeah, so one thing that makes me feel that rapid holy wars are a good plan is, first, the Arab world is, or the Muslim world is going to be a bit shattered at the moment anyway from the crusade, and partly the Crusader Queen trait gives us a 20% boost in our levy size across the country. And we have this terrifying martial score. But the question is, do we go for one of these two, or do we wait for them to finish their revolt so that we can take the whole duchy in a single war rather than needing 2 wars to do it? We could instead head westwards. Right, Fezzan is already being squished. Yes, the other good reason to head to start holy wars is they're not only shattered in that they're tired, they're also shattered in that the other bits of the Ikhshidid Sultanate have ended up broken up into their individual emirates, and so we need much. Our wars can be very small. Yes, precisely. So, like, we can just take that entire duchy, and we're only fighting that duchy, probably. I mean, nearby sunny rulers might join. But we only have to take those 2 counties. Are they, like, serious? Quite a decent number of people there, actually. Oh yes, we've also got a fairly decent amount of money for the size of our kingdom, so we should possibly be doing some building works. Let's do the usual increased taxes. Admittedly, that actually does increase our income. We already have the biggest castle town we can have there. We get camels, but maybe I should upgrade my training grounds first.
I said no camels.
No, we're Egyptian now. Well, we're not Egyptian, but yes, we are totally going to turn up to battles with camels. Many things are already upgrading anyway. So now all of my domain is building things. Wondering if I should look at the various, technology spread improvements. Yeah, that's probably worth doing. Especially in the capital. We've already got universities and monastic schools there. And a university there. mostly this place is reasonably well equipped. Right, yes. So, I mean, on the one hand, like, it feels like going south would be easier than going west, but on the other, I think actually that revolt means I should avoid going south for now. I mean, I suppose one thing would be to declare more than one war, on the grounds that then they can't defend one another so effectively. But no, we'll slaughter enough of their people that it won't matter. So, like, he's got about 1,200 people. Actually, I think I should just, since I'm fairly well off for personal levies, I'm actually just going to raise my personal levies. I have to be a bit careful. We have some terribly, terribly low supply limits along this section. I wonder if we can do anything to improve them. I'm actually considering sending my army by sea for safety. Various people I asked to become Catholic are becoming Catholic. Excellent. So, yes. No, sorry, we don't have elephants. For elephants, we need to go to India. We should also actually... Oh, look, a peasant revolt. Well, maybe we should just send some of our troops, not too many, along the coast to deal with that. Take those 3,500, which seems like a safe number. No, I'm not putting myself at the head of an army until alright, we don't actually have a right flank in that army. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, we've improved our former Chancellor's opinion of us. I think he was our former Chancellor. Maybe he wasn't actually. But anyway, yes. Oh, he desires a barony as well, does he? Well, not just yet. Let's wait until we finish this war, because I bet it'll screw up our levies if we try to send one of our own duchies away, one of our own baronies away. That's everyone else. There, see, 288 camels. Send them over to the coast of Egypt to pick this lot up. I think. Thank you, that's fairly boring. Yeah, possibly we're getting slightly too much news from the Holy Roman Empire. Okay, what's CY got? What war has Prytonium got into? Is attacking the same people I've just got into a war with. No, you can't have it. I want that one. Oh, because I've raised your ships. Okay, yes. Right. That's that dealt with. Now, we should pause the moment that comes into port and immediately put everyone back on the ships before they start starving. What? Oh, because only half of the ships got there. Stupid. No, that wasn't the button I meant either. Embark one more of them. Should be safe. So Kaiser Antonio is probably taking advantage of the bug that usually means that I don't have anyone in the defensive pact against me, because he has no scruples now. Oh, the troops in the ships count against my limit on supply, do they? Yes. Get more opinion points from Cyrenaica. That one's empty, isn't it? Yes, so I can actually just send this one over here. I meant to merge those two fleets, but didn't. And meanwhile, Duchess Hildeberg has also gone to war. She is attacking Fezzan for Fezzan itself, so she's heading southwards, trying to get that section into the Sahara. Meanwhile, you should board and head over to Jabba. Supply limit there is 12,500, which is probably all right. At age 29, your acquaintance, stepfather indeed, King Dane of Abyssinia died comatose in bed. So my mother Heike is now Queen Mother of Abyssinia, having outlived her third husband. And the Queen of Abyssinia is the what's her predecessor, also Miaphysite? Yes, is the 8-year-old Miaphysite Queen Jazara of Abyssinia. But the fools are coming and wandering into our territory. Sure, that was more troops when I started. Oh well. Right. No, I should probably not be leading troops just yet. Need to have a child first. Dismiss the fleet. I think send that lot marching into... So it only has a supply limit of 12,000, but that should be fine because we'll kill at least some of the enemy. Or we could go in there. Can we get there fast enough? Is one of those a commander? An organiser? No, yes, he is. Heinrich is an organiser. So we can't get into that county fast enough to immediately fight them. So let's head that way. They'll get a 15% advantage. Their camel cavalry will do particularly well defending in desert. Oh well. We outnumber them more than 2 to 1. It should be fine. Though admittedly we're not at full. See, let's stay here for a day or so, a bit longer, to get our morale up. The Duke of Asyut has declared the Asutian Holy War for Nobatia. See, I was waiting for that revolt to finish before doing that, but no. We mostly get news from the Holy Roman Empire about who is being new guardian of whom. Right, we're almost at full morale now. 1 week more. Well, we can probably start marching then. Aswani Holy War for Novatia. Everyone is just trying to grab nearby territory now. Yeah, I'm going to have to send you somewhere else soon because the Duke of Cyrenaica is going to love me too much. You're allowed 1 more. Though, Duke of Cyrenaica loving me too much might be a way to get a son. Don't think I have a secret conversation button at the moment, do I? Maybe I should... No, I need to save up some more money. Add a thing to the lighthouse allowing for private conversations. Establish some royal apartments in the lighthouse at Alexandria. That seems like a good plan. How much will it cost me? That will need 400 money. Yeah, let's not spend that much just now. But I think some royal apartments in the lighthouse are clearly a good plan. They've got some good commanders. It will be a pity to kill them. Oh dear. Duke Ordonio, my convenient Basque vassal, has contracted slow fever. It does take a long time walking around the desert. Oh, we should stick our not very good siege leader in charge, shouldn't we? There we go. That makes things a lot faster. Right, we have some training grounds here. This is why I'm not going to. Well, okay, oh, we can upgrade to Coptic Spearmen 3. But only those may not actually. I mean, it looks like it works because the county is Coptic, but we haven't actually got enough money to build anything more because I've burnt all my money on building useful things, really. Was all sorts of weird bargaining. Hello, Eek. Good night, Eek. Oh, the Sheikh of Acre has declared war on one of my vassals, which is not allowed. Stop it. We're not allowed to declare war on Duke Osmond of Damietta. Where is Damietta anyway? It's that bit, it's the coastal bit. But it's still not allowed. Stop it. Don't work out it's not allowed soon. Excellent. I mean, he is, yes, attacking. He doesn't. The war doesn't appear to exist. So apparently, we're not the only people besieging something here. Looks like another siege anyway. Or is that our siege? I think that's just our siege, but we're a long way away from it. Because it's quite a large county. Some kind of revolt thing going on. But we're just trying to win this siege. There appears to be have been some disagreement over religion there. You have a castle shipyard, which I'm pretty sure I wasn't trying to build. In Benghazi. We also have 1,600 troops in Benghazi. Do I bizarrely control Benghazi when I didn't realise? Well, you lot head along the coast then. Oh right, yes, he was the guy who was complaining about me having a barony in his territory. That's why this army was smaller than I was expecting. Turned out I'd forgotten someone. Actually, can we bring them in by sea? It'll probably be quicker. What's the supply limit there? 12,000, that's fine. Guys who are coming in by sea might not actually get to be involved. Oh no, they will. They're coming nice and quickly. And like we have a castle and a city to besiege here. Oi, stop it! I mean, you're probably not going to do it before I've besieged your capital, but still rude. There seems to be some competition for occupying Fezzan, because of course one of my vassals is trying to take that county, and the other one is trying to take Fez, and meanwhile Sirte is trying to take Fezzan itself. But right, and we've besieged. Oh, we've got 100% war score. Enforce my demands, which are I get lots of piety and I get all of the titles in the Emirate of Jerid. Right, well that's the Kingdom of Egypt expanded slightly westwards. How are the other wars going then? Actually, well, yes, no, let's look at the other wars first and then work out what else is going on. So, the Emir of Fezzan is currently defending against Tripolitania in a holy war for Jerid, which will get them, I think, that county. Nafusa in a holy war for Fezzan. Who is Nafusa? Who is a mere count up here. So he's trying to get himself up to duke level. But I fear that that war is not going to be completed fast enough, because he's also defending against the Duchess of Sirte, who has 35% war score in her war for Fezzan. So yeah, I fear that Fezzan is going to Sirte, which is kind of cute because it means there'll be this duchy that extends southwards into the interior, while we go along the coast. So what's going on over here then? The Mercurian revolt is of course attacking Mercuria and losing. Mercuria is defending against Duke Baldwin of Asyut, who is one of our vassals in a holy war for Nobatia, and Duke Velf of Aswan, another one of our vassals in a holy war for Nobatia. So Mercuria is currently defending against 2 of our vassals. Fezan is defending against 2 of our vassals and Sirte. The Tamimid Emirate is not. You're probably... Who are you defending against? You're defending against Tripolitania, who are also holy warring you for Jerid. We could also take on what's left of what was the Ixchidid Sultanate and is now the Ixchidid Emirate. Who are attacking the Holy Roman Empire by invading Anatolia. Do you have some other territory that I don't know about? Because I can't help feeling that from there, invading Anatolia is a pretty odd activity. And apparently 3 times hostile to the Byzantine revolt. So it's certainly tempting to say, hello Ixchidids, you know we beat you in a crusade. Well, we might beat you again. But first, I have too many titles. My domain is too big. I have a city in my domain that I shouldn't have, and I'm slightly threatening.
Good night.
Good night. So let's start fixing the domain too big problem by giving this guy Tulmaith. Because that will sort him, which means incidentally we should send our Chancellor somewhere else. Send him, for instance, to Tripolitania. There's the capital, there it is. So our domain is still too big, but part of that is going to be that in here we have a city. So, let's just create a new vassal. Right, the city is now held by Mayor Jürgen. Where we found someone called Jürgen in Gatza, I have no idea. So that now means we're only 1 over our domain limit. Quite tempting to fix that one just by changing our centralisation law, to be honest. Like if we push centralisation up to high, then that gives us a +3 on our domain limit. It reduces our vassal limit by 5, but since with vassals we're currently at 10 out of 26. 10 out of 21 is perfectly acceptable for now. I have to see if people will vote for it, but they probably will. Oh yes, let's quickly start some more wars before people form useful defensive pacts against us. I think we should march into the Ixtadid Emirate and say, "Hello, Hussein. You know we defeated you once. Well, we're coming back for a second try because you've still got some land." And we'll just have the whole of Mzab, please. Yes, sadly my domain levies are a bit depleted now because partly I killed some of them and partly the I've given away some of the territory. You love me though, so you can give me some troops. I think we're just going to have to raise others from wherever we can get them though. So that's 1500, 1600 plus, yeah, that'll be enough. What's the thing for raise fleets? C. Why am I marching everyone across the Nile? I don't know. So Pigby notes, it strikes me now you have a whole new fractious family and collection of vassals to wrangle and you don't even know who they are. Well, vassals, yes, I'm kind of learning this as we go along. Mostly they don't much like me because I'm German. Family, well, we don't really have much family out here. Like, Queen Adalberta's immediate family are mostly not Spoletos. Like, she gets the dynasty name from her mother, from when she was married to Ildwine Guthfrith's son, and like, so, and that's she thus has no full siblings who are members of her dynasty. All her siblings are members of different dynasties. One of her half sisters is Queen of Abyssinia, but so they're not very relevant. Once she actually has some children in her court, then she might be able to start accomplishing things. Right, we have high centralisation, which ought to increase our vassal limit enough, our domain size rather, enough that we can actually do a thing. We are currently only one duchess, so we do have the opportunity to create the Duchy of Jerid. Will cost us 100 gold. Yeah, go on. My troops are there randomly besieging a trade post for no obvious reason. But, like, gets us some piety. Apparently. Everyone is here and ready to get on board their ships. What? In what way is this my job? Oh right, Patrick Mab Ettercell, who is randomly kicking around in my court, is matrilineally betrothed to the Queen of Blois. I mean, I have no idea why, but obviously we honour betrothals. Well, let's bring that lot ashore then. Hildeberg? Bah! My kinswoman Hildeberg has joined the defensive pact against me. I wasn't going to invade you. Patrick Fitzpatrick has left my court for the petty kingdom of Blois, because he is now King Patrick of Blois. Somewhere up here. Right. Oh, the rebels are going to be defeated by the locals anyway. Get back on the ship. Ethelwine of Sinai who has managed to get himself a Muslim Egyptian wife by means I have no idea of. My immediate vassal has good arms. Where did he get her from? Has declared a holy war. A de jure war. Is already engaged in a holy war from Mazab. Oh, because that threw me though. Has declared a de jure war on the Wali of Yahel, who is like. Are you allowed to declare a war on someone that small? Oh right, is he an independent Wali? Okay, an independent like equivalent of a mayor or something who holds that one mosque in Sinai, and yes, okay, that's not a very exciting war. That's not going to take long. Are you suggesting, David, that there don't seem to be any troops over there? That Queen Adalberta might have an invading habit the same way that Edda had a murdering habit? So who's in the defensive pact against us then? Basically the tiny people on our northern border, which is hardly surprising really. Well, we're about to put a lot more people on our northern border. Not those arms, I meant the burning bush. Let's stick in a siege leader. Things will go better if we do that. And Christopher the Lame, oh, King of Franconia, right, yes. So we can see that Antonio is acquiring more of Sardinia, which I didn't make much effort to do, largely because they were always in defensive pacts against me. I presume that the Ixchidid army is off somewhere else. Yes, the Ixchidid army is off somewhere up here, fighting the last but one war, I think. My guess is that they attacked the Byzantine Empire when they still controlled much of the Mediterranean. The thing is, Pink Beast says, well, you finish one invasion, you've got all these armies sort of lying around. In CK2 you often haven't, because you aren't allowed to declare war if you have any levies raised. So you pretty much have to dismiss your armies in between wars. Unless, of course, you've hired a bunch of mercenaries. Actually, I've got an awful lot of piety. I could be using... so I was just thinking, this is costing me quite a bit in levy upkeep. Like, it's actually burning through my money at a fair rate running this war. But maybe I could do it with holy orders. Because holy orders haven't been a possibility before, because they hadn't been founded. But like now, they still cost monthly money to run, though. You can hire them, so that will be 45 thingies a month, which is like, this is for reasons counted in per year, I think. Yes, so that's like 300 and something a year is 300 divided by 12 is whatever it is. It's not very many a month anyway. Sorry, you can't do division by 12. It's going to be about 20, isn't it? 20 something, isn't it? So actually maintaining a holy order is more expensive than maintaining my own levies. Right, one bit of sieging done. No sign of the defenders yet. Kind of familiar flag. Getting a lot of stuff about what's going on in Kaiser Antonio's dungeons, aren't we? Ah, thank you. as I've previously mentioned, we're not actually planning to invade you. Right, so Duke Ethelwine has now sorted out his not actually holding one of the things in his own territory. The bishopric of Yahel is now a bishop, and will presumably very shortly be assigned to someone who isn't the Duke. Meanwhile, you lot can head over there. There are at least, I think there are two, yes thank you, I'm running out of money, I can't build anything else, two revolts currently going on in the HRE, and one in Arles for a claim on the title. We have an awful lot of weak claims we can press because we've got all of these odd, like, half heirs to countries all across Europe as our vassals. Like, we have a claimant on the Byzantine Empire kicking around, and a claimant on the Kingdom of Hungary. I don't think this would be sensible though. Plus, like, I'm going to have to stop running my my domain levies pretty soon. Because we're going to run out of money otherwise. Excellent. How's the tech looking? We really don't know. We have a lot of military advancement points. Not enough to invest in better infantry, unlike the other things we're learning anyway from our neighbours. He's going to need 360 which culture points to get improved tolerance. That's nice. Is anything very surprising happening up here? Oh, I don't want to be leading an army. Stick someone else in there. It'd be very embarrassing to die in battle. Turn off leading armies for now. And really, Adalberta, your husband's here, as are zillions of eligible young commanders. Surely you can take advantage of these and get yourself a child. you... Pinkbee says, also, aren't you a teenage girl? Yes, but assuming you're complaining about her leading armies, she's a teenage girl with a martial skill of 29. If we search the entire world for all the people in it, Adalberta has the highest martial skill of anyone in the world. There is no one in the known world with a higher martial skill than Queen Adalberta. She is the woman you want at the head of your armies, were it not for the fact that it's really important that she not die. Like, the moment she's got a child, she is going out at the front of every army. But right now, her life is too precious. Mostly to me, because it's game over if she dies. Yeah, I may have to stop watching what's going on in the Holy Roman Empire. It's too much of it. Yes, so Pinkbees looks it up, and I think it's just logistics and strategy, not also personally slitting up dudes. Yes, but that is indeed what martial skill is about. But in medieval warfare, you pretty much have to be in the battle in order to command it. Like, it's not just strategy; it's also stomping around on the field of battle. You're not doing the slitting up yourself, but you're shouting at the soldiers to get them to do it. And you're occasionally meeting up with an opposing commander, which is where a personal combat skill of 67 comes in helpful. If she does meet an opposing commander, then he's totally going to die as well. But certainly, I mean, I don't know about real medieval military history, but certainly CK2 medieval military history is, if you're commanding something, then you are actually on the field of battle in some danger of getting caught or killed, especially if the battle goes badly for you. To the clever devil Adalberta, peace be with you, we surrender under these terms. The standard terms of a surrender. Yes, thank you, we will accept that. Oh, he got a white piece with the Byzantine Empire. Right, so we have now won another war. Let's dismiss that army, which is no longer required. What's going on in Nalut then? Who's occupied that? The Sheikh of Mahdia has apparently occupied that. So clearly that war is getting complicated. Right, yes, I should actually see I should have seen before I dismissed that army how all my vassals' wars were going and whether any of them needed any help. So I need. Oh yes, probably need to stop fighting for a bit just in order to get my treasury back, or at least I need to stop fighting with my own troops. It's even more complicated trying to sort out other people's. But on the other hand, all of these guys are not yet members of a Holy Roman of the Defensive Pact, and they're like one county each. Oh, it's so tempting. Like we could do it on liege levies alone, surely. Let's just check how our vassals' wars are going, which I'm going to do by looking at the neighbours because that's easier. So, Asyut is winning but only by 13%. Aswan is winning with 26%. No one is actually attacking the Mercurian revolt. Possibly because they're comprehensively losing to Mercuria itself. No one, I think, is currently attacking the Banu Farhat Sultanate, who are technically within our capabilities, but yeah, maybe not. Fezan is defending against Sikher of Tripolitania, who is winning quite comprehensively. Liuva of Nafusa, who's doing surprisingly well, but Hildeberg is probably going to get there first. She is almost certainly going to take Fezan fairly shortly. Mahdia is fighting against Tripolitania and is losing comprehensively. Right. None of my vassals need my assistance. But we have all of these little counties with like a few thousand troops each. All of whom we now have a Holy War Casus Belli against. Yeah, don't think I want to hire the Knights Templar, they're just too expensive to run. But like, I can raise 15,000 vassal levies. I mean, it is very tempting just Holy War all of those four. Like, the Fatimids, okay, the Fatimids, yes, I should actually look at the top liege in each case. The Fatimids might be a bit of an effort. Yes, I want shift right click, don't I? So 2,500, 1,000, 6,000, 5,000. Actually, the Fatimids are slightly weaker because there's this revolt going on. 2,900. Don't think I can get a holy war against him because he's not coastal. Oh, I can. Because it's a coastal duchy? Certainly tempting just to do a sweep of holy wars. Bring up all my liege levies and just see how far we can get. he's got 6,000 troops in those 2 counties. That's a bit scary. Yeah, go on, let's have a go. Oh, I can't take both of his counties. Well, let's take that one. Or maybe we should take that one because it's like more adjacent to things that we're going to control in due course, and probably quicker to besiege. Should we do the Fatimids? 5,000 troops. Go on. You've got 4,000. It's like, no, let's just do the ones who are actually our neighbours. I think I don't want to get too gung-ho about this. Let's not raise my own troops, because my own troops are expensive in cash. Let's march everyone, as is traditional, from the eastern half of the kingdom up to Alexandria. So we have a random bishopric here. Let's just do the usual thing and raise a vassal to do it. So I'm not surprised there's a defensive pact against me. Oh, we've got some troops up there as well, right. The fleet. Oh, I think I raised it in the wrong half of Cyprus. It's better. Caliph of Cordoba joined the defensive pact. How dare they oppose me? A revolt has broken out in Gafsa. Where's Gafsa? Should I have pressed the go-to button just then? Oh, there it is. Well, conveniently, I have an enormous great army, like, on its way there. Let's just see how big it is. Let's hold that army very briefly until a few more turn up. Because, like, there's a ship just off the coast here that's about to bring in another batch from Cyprus. So once they've arrived, then we can go and squash that rebellion. Hildeberg's rejoined a defensive pact against me. This is fine, we'll settle down for a bit shortly. Make sure we have... they're probably not of a different religion from us. Oh well. Actually, how's our organisation here going? Not quite ready. But that lot on the ship can come over and join us. Oh! Duke Baldwin of Asyut died of pneumonia. The kingdom has thus been inherited by his daughter, Duchess Gudrun of Asyut. Marriage to the Polish Count Odon of Werle. That's entertaining because that's all the way up there. We may accidentally absorb a random county up in Poland into the kingdom, or we may not, because it looks like the inheritance laws may be different. He was apparently running a faction. That's the rebellion put down. So who could we go after safely with 3,000 men? Probably not you. Right, you're the Fatimids. So probably not the Fatimids. Who has a small number of men? The Sheikh of Ashir, who has 95. Right, you lot march over there while we wait for the main army to arrive. Ah, right. This county here is now part of the Kingdom of Egypt. The Emir of Fezzan has accepted the Duke of Tripolitania's peace offer. Yeah, I can create lots of duchies. There are going to be more. Right. Well, you lot, I think, can come in here, but... Oh, excellent! The majority of the population have been converted to the Catholic faith. So if we switch to religion view, we now have slightly more Catholicism. Pause. Let's head down there then. Barracks have been built in Zagazig. Barony of Zagazig. We can just about afford some stables there. Oh, go on, we've got plenty of our own troops. Right, I'm going to need to save up some money at some point, but... So he was presumably someone we brought in with, yeah, one of our commanders. He's not very useful. I mean, his diplomacy will become tolerable once he's grown into his Grey Eminence ship, but still. Right, we do have an incoming Tanimid army. This shouldn't be a problem. Let's just make sure we have some half-decent commanders in both armies, because we're probably just all going to meet up in this bit of desert here, and this will be messy. Alright, they've changed their minds. They're not going to come and say hello to us after all. We've now got slightly more armies there, but right, so you lot are trying to come into Ashir, right. In that case, supply limit, yeah, it'll probably be okay. Since they're all piling into Ashir, I think we want to be there too. Get our defensive bonus from being in the mountains. Well, no, okay, they're not going to come into Ashir. Let's see if we can tempt them back. Where are they going now? You go there, they'll get the defensive bonus, won't they? Oh no, we will, right. Do we... I think we try to do that, if nothing else, because it might convince them to go back to Ashir. Right, that's caused them not to try to go to Gardaya. Another county has been converted, though not, I think, by my court chaplain. Because it's that one. We're all just kind of standing here now. It's obviously not the most efficient thing to be doing. So pretty much anywhere I could send this army, we would run into a supply limit problem. Let's stick our second string commanders. Well, maybe not quite the second string. I want to keep, let's go for those in there, and then in here go for actually no, we'll stick Sebastianos in the centre, Heinrich as an organiser on one flank, and Meinhardt as a holy warrior on the other. And then this one is a good army for marching around killing things. So that's mountains. I don't want to attack anyone there. Right, we're entirely in mountains. Okay. There are annoyingly troops in those counties already. Don't want to go too far from here because this lot will probably march into Ashir, but I don't actually want to be in Ashir because we'll have a... Oh, sod it, we'll go to Ashir. It's only a slight penalty, a slight attrition penalty. It'll make the siege run faster anyway. It is a pretty tiny penalty. Where are you guys going? We're trying to end up in Lagua, presumably in the hope of besieging it. But you're only bringing 6,000, well 5,000 and something troops. It's kind of tempting to split off, not really half, I want about 2/3. Well, that's probably enough to maintain the siege. And we'll bring along an organizer as well. Oh no, that's wrong. You have Heinrich, don't you? Stoats, yes. So you should have Sebastianos. Getting confused now. This one has Sebastianos, Meinhard and Heinrich. This one has Estesel, Ogbay and Sevlod. Right. They should be safe in the mountains even if this lot come after them. Oh, that lot's stopped moving again because I'm stoked. Right, you lot can stay here then. No, you can't apparently. I have made a bit of a mess of that. Oh well. You lot can stay there until this lot get movement locked. Oh, I've lost my marshal. That's embarrassing. Well, Sebastianos, you can do the job for now. And I'll probably need to invite a new commander in. I could invite in the court chaplain of the Papal Guards. So when that lot are movement locked, we then send this lot back. And thus we get our defensive bonus. Indeed, because we're quick, we get to merge this lot make sure that we have the best commanders in place and thrash the pants off the incoming army. Excellent. CK likes me a bit more. Hurrah for defensive bonus for being in mountains. Right, now about that siege. Yeah, it's kind of on fire. Oh, switch back to a siege leader. So that makes a big difference. Right, we still have to besiege what's left of the city of Azerbaijan. Okay. Oh dear, my moodiness and tendency to lash out at people is getting worse. I sleep too little and can't seem to stop worrying. Don't. Everything is going well. Why are you stressed? Don't be stressed. Seduce one of your nice commanders, it'll make things better. And by better, I mean less bad if you die. Oh, he's improved our the library we left behind. Excellent. Right, so who else are we at war with anyway? Most of the neighbours, yes. I mean, there's a bunch of armies in there, which mean we're going to be over supply limit if we go that way, whereas it'll be fine if we go this way. That's mountains, so ideally we wouldn't engage in a battle there. My lady, Heinrich, courtier, commander indeed, approaches me with clothes stained with dirt and fire in his eyes. Would you do me the honour of bestowing a nickname upon me, my lady? So he could be Heinrich the Fairest of Fustat. We can go a bit cheaper with Heinrich the Fair. Which, like, I'm not sure is right either. Or we can annoy him, noting he has a hugely high opinion of us, by calling him Heinrich the Pest. I think as a stressed ruler I should totally call him Heinrich the Pest. So, yes, as we can see, the Duchy of Sirte, protectorate of the Holy Roman Empire, that's not quite the correct phrase, tributary of the Holy Roman Empire, has now extended down halfway across the Sahara Desert. What's left of the Ikshidids appear now to be holding on down here. Things are sorting themselves out over there. Is this guy still at war with one of us? He isn't. How on earth has that happened? Someone should go to war with him, but not me. Well, where are you guys going? You're trying to get to Ashir, just as we're trying to leave Ashir. You will become movement locked on the 22nd. We will become movement locked on the 17th. Right, we should stop then. Even if that means that you're going to stop. I think, yes. Then we'll start moving again and see if you notice. Yes, you noticed. I mean, admittedly, this will just get us into a loop if I keep doing this. As soon as we are about to become movement locked, they'll start moving. And we won't actually be able to win this. Apparently not this time. He keeps exiling people. Is she anyone near me? Yes. Daughter of Heinrich the Pest. I mean, she ought to be useful for something. When you're 20, have some children. I'm totally going to have to build those royal apartments just so I can have secret meetings with everyone. Or the correct sort. But we need more money before we can build royal apartments. Indeed, what's going on with our money? Are we still losing money? No, we're just not gaining it very fast. I think Duke Velf may just have captured somewhere. Right, more tech points from Constantinople. We are getting to the point where we could just, well, I mean, we can buy better siege equipment immediately. I mean, I feel that since we're behind in siege equipment, that's worth paying for, actually. Oh! We probably want to... Yeah, we're getting more people against us in this holy war. They come from smaller farms, some with a goat or pig to sell, some with only a bushel of vegetables or fruits, others a whole wagon of produce. The peasants sell their produce inside the city walls, but the burghers protest against it and want to forbid it. So we can not let them in, which gets us more money but slightly more local revolt risk and improves the mayor's opinion of us, or allow them to sell in, which annoys the mayor. I think peasants always cause trouble. Don't let them in. Let's have more taxes, please. What a surprise. Right, the King of Mercuria has accepted Duke Velf's peace offer. So what do things look like in the east now? So yes, we now extend to some of the Duchy of Nobatia. Now we have a dangerous faction demanding Gavelkind succession. I mean, I don't really care about that relative to primogeniture. I'd like elective Gavelkind, but I don't think we can have that. Well, unless someone really demands it hard. Are we going to stay here and try to... Yeah, I think we are. I think our plan is to win each war in turn. Rather than trying to go out and get into offensive battles in mountains. I think we should try to only get into defensive battles if we possibly can. I mean, they'll have gone by the time we get there. He's doing pretty well at getting us some tech points, isn't he? Still have a way to go before we can actually advance tolerance, but he's being quite useful. So who has what? That one is only against one person. That one is against two people. And that one is against two people. But that one is frankly going to be won pretty shortly. Oh, they've successfully besieged one of our things. That's inconvenient. But we're just going to take advantage of our siege leader and get this place pretty quickly. Probably, yeah. Oh look, one of the armies against us has got into trouble. I mean, they're going to win that battle, but well, probably. Oh, Kaiser Antonio has died, but he did manage to arrange that Baldwin di Spoleto succeeded him. Well done. So, at least I presume he died. Yes. Was murdered, indeed. Well, it happens. Don't think we need to worry about this lot. They're going to fairly shortly not be at war with us. Do this by besieging so that it doesn't cost us too much in troops, because these guys aren't going to finish that siege anytime soon. Well, at least they're not going to finish that siege before we finish this one. Okay, home to the Holy Roman Holy War for Holstein on King Boothely. Right, we may want to assault this, though. Let's see, that's going down. That will take 24 days to complete. That will take more than 24 days to complete. No, we can do this the slow way. The slow but not expensive in troops way. Cyrenaica has converted to Catholicism. I'm watching the Holy Roman Empire, so I get to see. I mean, conveniently, I get to see when there's a new Holy Roman Emperor, but more randomly, I get to see when they declare a Roman Holy War on a bunch of pagans in the north. Right, a few more days, and this war will be over. Sure I didn't declare war on a caliph. Oh well. Yeah, I don't care about the Fatimid revolt, actually. I mean, they are admittedly apparently besieging some of my stuff, so maybe I should care. But I don't think they're part of either of the alliances opposing me. Okay, we are noticeably over the supply limit here. Supply limit is 12.75 thousand. So let's take this lot next door. Dear, something else has happened. My husband is Spy Master of the Holy Roman Empire. This is probably not helpful. Alright, someone's declared war on the revolt. Just because it's there. I think I dismissed a window that might have been important. One of the holy wars has ended. Not quite sure which one or why. Mostly because I'm paying it. Oh! Has she... She's broken her... Hildeberg has broken her tributary relationship with the Holy... Oh, because it was personal, yes. She was a tributary of the previous Kaiser. So now the Duchy of Sirte is independent. Oh yes, we lost a. We just lost a commander, didn't we? For reasons not apparent. We would ideally like an siege leader, but I don't think there are likely to be any available with decent. Oh, there's a siege leader with martial skill 19. Well, we'll have him. Maybe we should put some effort into finishing this war before they make any more successful sieges. The kind-hearted genius, hello. Please become my commander. Okay, how's CK's opinion of me? Still terrible, partly because my domain's enormous. So we control the whole of that thing, but sadly that's not enough. That only has a small supply limit. So let's split that army more or less in half. Send half of it in there. Actually, no, send that half through. Okay, round. And the other half in there. Okay. Okay, how's our religion map looking now then? So there's been a bunch of conversions while I haven't been looking. Yeah, that's getting more Christian. Yes, is what's going on up here? Duke Philomen of Croatia is a vassal of Kaiser Baldwin the Wise, and also controls that down there. So the Holy Roman Empire now reaches the southern edge of the map. So these two armies are about to cross over. But oh, it's only desert. We'll be fine. Let's make sure we've got some good commanders in this one. Yeah, that's not good commanders. Ogbay should be over here as our not very good thing. This one should have, yes, Sebastianos and Dietrich and Meinhardt. And that will do for now. Let's put Actually, can we do better than that by sticking Heinrich in there? Will that accelerate things? Yes, I think. No, that won't make any difference. It doesn't matter how soon we arrive there. Have the best. Oops. This should just make sure we actually have some commanders there. Oh, I'm starting to think Heinrich might fancy me. Yes, make a move. He may be ancient, but like your husband is off spy mastering for the Holy Roman Empire. Yes, that's Heinrich the Pest. I went to Heinrich's chamber, like he's 60, but still, and gave him a good tumble. It is good to be the Queen. Why? What's his face is a siege leader. Why aren't we getting a siege leader bonus? Isn't he? No, he's not. Centaur is. Centaur is a siege leader. There. Why aren't we getting a siege leader bonus? Don't know. Probably doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll prevail here, I think. Yeah, someone's besieged some of our territory. We're going to have to deal with them in a bit. Let's try to get ourselves down to one war. Lost our steward now. Died after a period of illness. We have no one good in the kingdom. We don't need a siege leader who's got good stewardship. We just need any old person who's got good stewardship. Excellent. And he even has an ambition to become steward, so he'll get another point of stewardship if we appoint him as a steward. Excellent. He currently has 21 stewardship. He should now have 22 stewardship. And a +10 opinion boost for fulfilled ambition, in addition to the +10 for being my steward. Oh dear, I must be with child. Will my husband believe it is his? Good news, darling. I ought to appoint a regent who can take over if anything should happen to me. I thought I had. But, like, the sheer number of buttons up here is getting a bit silly. Yes, Duke Velf is my designated regent. Yeah, I had no good use for Clara. I am uncertain about my future and cannot stop worrying about the life of my unborn child. Perhaps I should try to make a vow to the Holy Virgin Mary and pray her to ease my tribulations and help me give birth to a strong and healthy child. Must I do this? Or do I gain a chance of becoming cynical? I must do this. So, should I mean, this probably depends a bit on my natural traits. My natural traits are patience, kindness, and diligence, which I would observe are precisely the ones that aren't chastity, humility, charity, and temperance. I think we will be temperate. Not for any good reason. I mean, I think I probably want to avoid chastity just yet. Oh no, Queen Adalberta doesn't go in for murder. Queen Adalberta will just invade you. She's pregnant, so she's now down to 37 personal combat skill. You do know that I am fair. You've stopped in a desert, you strange people. I may just break off both of these sieges and come and squish you. Because, like, I did think I was going to have to attack you in mountains. The Holy Roman Empire has won and expanded itself northwards. Going slightly further up there. We're going to temporarily stop fighting the against the Fatimids, because there's an army here that wants squishing. Though we may actually win this siege just because we're there. I've been feeling a lot more energetic than usual recently. Unfortunately, while I have no problem wearing down the ears of everyone at court, I've been unable to focus all this newfound vitality on my duties. Yet according to most scholars, an expecting mother should simply seclude herself in the dark for most of her pregnancy. So, should I follow tradition and rest? Should I love talking for temporarily more diplomacy and less stewardship? Or should I stop wasting all this time? Either of them loses me stewardship. Let's go for some temporary extra diplomacy. Also, I should put my new steward to work researching economy tech in Fustat. I mean, possibly he could usefully be collecting taxes, but the main reason I wanted money was to build some royal apartments in the lighthouse, and we've kind of dealt with the immediate reason why I wanted to do that. with the help of Heinrich. Right, you lot. One army. Some spectacular commanders, which should include a holy warrior. And should include an organizer. I might not be able to accomplish much while wasting all this time chatting, but at least I think I'm becoming better at talking in general. +2 diplomacy, +5 vassal opinion. Yes. More tech points. Still can't buy any tolerance. 15 messages. Oh, someone's changing the law. I expect this battle will help rather with the with this war. Yes. We only get half of this bit because that county actually we're allowing him to keep for now. Seeing another behind my spouse's back is becoming quite troublesome for me. The lies tear at my soul, and my longing to be with my lover is too much. Am I already stressed? Yes. Is it time to end such affairs and settle down? Will it work out if I give it more effort? Good chance of becoming stressed. Will I end up in an enormous fallout with my husband? Lustful is good for fertility, but I might end up cruel. I mean, we've got the pregnancy, which is what we were there for. Chastity would be unfortunate, but I mean, admittedly, we're already stressed, so it can't get any worse in that respect. I don't think it doesn't look like Heinrich is likely to end up loathing me. I mean, he'll probably be a bit annoyed, but I mean, if nothing else, probably I think he gets a thing that will negate that lover bonus. But he is only a commander at the moment, at least. And the thing is, since I already have the stress trait, it's like I think we've got what we wanted out of this. We'll break off the affair. Sadly, I've become chaste, but one child, as long as they survive, is a reasonable number. Saves accidentally dying in childbirth or whatever. Right. Fairly easy pregnancy, really. Yes, it doesn't. Chastity doesn't actually prevent me having another child. So it's not celibacy. Chastity is minus 15% fertility. Also good for your learning, apparently. And a boost to monthly piety, which might be useful if I were trying to become Holy Roman Emperor. There she is. Somewhere under this lot. What should her name be? Should she be called Gerhild? Officially, she's my husband's daughter. She has inherited my genius. Excellent. So there's a good chance she... Well, I mean, if I don't have any more children... This is a good reason to try not to have any more children, actually. Because, we don't want a son now. Got a daughter. Got a genius daughter. If we have a son, then she'll go and... Then he'll go and inherit instead, and he might not be a genius. I think Gerhild is a good name. I haven't come up with a better one. We have a new heir. If your character dies now, you'll play as Gerhild di Spoleto. As a newborn, she has a personal combat skill of 10. Meanwhile, how are things going in these wars? Will you surrender yet? No. I want that. I don't think I'm getting any war score for these. It's kind of unfortunate. But we have 100% war score in this one anyway, because he no longer controls it. Doesn't seem to have had the effect I was hoping for. I was expecting to have gained this county. But I don't seem to have, possibly because something went weirdly, because there's some other war going on that tangled up with it. Anyway, we still have another war to win. Against this lot. Possibly, Pinkby says, the AI will often revoke the de jure capital from a vassal, even without justification, in order to move their capital there. That might be why the HRE moved, yes. Oh, a month has passed since I gave birth to little Gerhild. As is traditional, I should undergo my churching as any good Christian mother does, and rejoin the Holy Church now that my body has been cleansed of all impurities. But, illegitimate children, after giving birth to an illegitimate child, churching can be a dangerous manoeuvre. I've had a few occasions where a female ruler has gone and admitted who the father was, which tends to cause trouble. But +2 Marshal. No, sorry, she doesn't want to lose her +2 Marshal. I submit myself to the forgiving embrace of our Lord, ready to partake of his sacred flesh, after the long abstinence imposed by my pregnancy. Yet I must be certain to be free of sin before I undergo the Holy Communion. None of these relates to my temperance vow. I will confess all my sins. Oh, you stoat. As I try to swallow the communion, a surge of nausea fills my body. I fall to the ground, and taken by panic, I start coughing madly. It takes some time for me to retake my senses, and when I do, the priests surrounding me tell me that, while I was choking on the flesh of Christ, I called out the name of the real father of my newborn child. No, that cannot be. Word of my unfortunate churching. Yeah, but zealous. +2 Marshal. She wouldn't be the greatest military leader in the world if she lost zealotry. In a surprising word of my unfortunate churching has reached my husband, yet in a surprising show of kindness, he has told me that no matter what the truth is, he is ready to forgive me. I truly appreciate your support, Lutaveras. Plus, I was doing it in order to ensure that we had a successor. Happily, this doesn't get her flagged as a bastard. Yeah, but confession is meant to be to a priest, who will not go passing it on to everyone else. Like, the point was to actually confess the said sin, in a position in which no one who mattered was going to find out about it. Didn't work, though. Yes, totally. Let's keep true to my vow. The vow I made was not in vain. The Holy Virgin has blessed me with a healthy, strong girl. Is it time to turn my mind back to mundane concerns? I think temperance is an excellent trait to continue having. Sadly, I'm also thus malnourished. Didn't want to be malnourished. It's bad for my personal combat skill. We're going to win this one by... No, we're not going to win this one by ticking war score. A holy man came to court today to talk about matters of faith, but it soon became clear he held rather unorthodox views. Being a zealous defender of the church at all times, I believe I did the right thing when I gave the order to imprison a blasphemous pagan who dared criticise my faith and my church. Deus Vult. I was still shaking with rage at the pagan's blasphemous words when Schooley took the opportunity to whisper, "Good work," in my ear. Thank you, I really needed that. More dull news from the Holy Roman Empire. Hey, where are they going? They're going to Ashir. And their movement locked there. Ha ha ha! Or at least some of them are. Aswan has been converted. How's he doing it? Oh, Queen Adelheid of Bavaria, another Despoleto, is now looking like being the next leader of the Holy Roman Empire. Right, this should get me enough war score, surely. Yes. Right, so one of those holy wars didn't go quite right. In that this one, we somehow won, but didn't actually gain any territory from. Let's just have a quick look around. Is he at war with anyone relevant to us? No. Neither are you, somehow. Well, there were some Ikshidids down here a moment ago. Wonder where they went. Oh. King Aaron of Mercuria is currently winning against Asyut. Against Duchess Gudrun of Asyut. Would you like my help? Oh, well, I can't join that war. Okay, you can't have my help. Right, well then. I think there's nothing to do but dismiss this army and work out what the hell we're doing with our territories. So that patch accidentally we didn't get. I should have paid. I could possibly have looked harder at what was going on at the time, but I don't really know. So, but we have nonetheless now got quite a big Egypt. How do the de jure I think the de jure empires end up split up really inconveniently. Yes, like de jure, de facto Egypt now spans both the Arabian and Maghreb empires in a really inconvenient fashion. So we probably can't gain either of those empires. So we're going to remain a kingdom for a while. So I have far too large a domain. So that really means we need to create some duchies, appoint some dukes, maybe even appoint some counts, and let them organise this stuff. So there are the duchies. And Jerid, I think, have I created Jerid but not yet done anything with it? Yes. So we really essentially need to hand out, I think, Jerid, Mazab and Tahet to other people. One thing I wonder about is trying to see if there are any half decent Dispoletos I could invite over to take on those duchies. So if we ask for, that's basically any male Dispoletos, which is basically my restriction, who will join my court. I mean, we could say in diplomatic range, not rulers. Which might get me some better ones. It doesn't get me any better marshal though. All the ones who might join me are kind of a bit iffy. Quite like the look of him, mind. Terrible not very good marshal, but I like his stewardship and his diplomacy. So that's one possibility, is we simply invite over. But actually what we really want is content. No, hang on, content. Curiously, content Dispoletos, not many of them around. Because, like, thing is, I can't grant her a title. She can only inherit them. People who are of my dynasty will generally like me more. And the alternative really is I appoint one of my existing commanders, or indeed one of my existing courtiers in general. We've got another Basque guy, which might be interesting. Yeah, maybe we should make him a duke. Anyone else who has nice stats who I think would make a good vassal? Anyone... We've got some very weird people. Quite tempted actually to appoint Johannes, my Basque steward, as a duke. So we have to grant him a county first, and then the attached duchy. So we can grant him the county of Gafsa and all lower titles. And then grant him the Duchy of Jerid. And all remaining lower titles. Right, so we now have Duke Johannes of Jerid, who will start sorting out that duchy. Right, then I think I liked at least one of the available Di Spoletos. So Augustine, Marshal of Como, has some quite nice stats and is a Di Spoleto. So I think we should invite him in to be Duke of Mzab. And then, who should we have as Duke of Tahert? And Friedrich seems pretty decent, actually. It occurs to me, like possibly I should be sorting by opinion, but actually Friedrich's pretty good in that case as well. Oh, he's my cousin. Right. Let's wait for them to arrive. Meanwhile, Johannes is organising things over in Jerid. Right, so Augustine has arrived. So we can grant him County of Lagoat. Oh, I can't grant him Mzab yet because I haven't created it yet. Alright, if I turn on include lower titles, then I can directly select the duchy. That's much simpler. Right, he is now Duke Augustine of Mzab. And now Friedrich Di Spoleto has arrived. So we can create the Duchy of Tahert. And grant it to him. Right, he is now Duke Friedrich of Tahert. Rather intriguingly, he is a sufficiently close relative of Duke Augustine that they are currently one another's heirs? Not quite, no. Augustine has a son, I think. Yes. But yes, they are. I have actually invited, somewhat accidentally, two brothers to be the Dukes of Tahert and Mzab. I'm sure that will go fine. It isn't at all the basis for any of Shakespeare's plays. I mean, I don't know if it is, but totally could be. Right, so we still have a slight excess of domain. I mean, it's not as silly as it was. Alright, in part that's because I've accidentally retained things I should have handed over. Oh no, that's in that. Right, so we should either appoint, so that will get 3 off. Right, if I sort out these 3, that will leave us in a good state. So if my plan then is to, I'm not going to be able to create that duchy anytime soon. Oh, it's only those 3, but even then, yeah. So I'm wondering if I appoint some of my commanders into these holdings. But the problem is, if I then lose that county, if I then have to give that county to someone, it will they'll stop being my direct vassals and can't be my commanders. So no, let's not be clever. Let's just create new vassals for each of those. And that way everything is sensible and like perfectly normal. Right, so that now means that my vassal opinions should now be back to more or less normal. Well, okay, apart from the fairly terrible penalty for the fact that I've raised everyone's troops for ages. Marshal, you can start researching military tech over there. Look, I'm just curious. What's oh gods, is there some religious disaster going on there? Hang on a mo. Also, are you still trying to convert that county? Yes. Yes, because it turns out that I control the bishopric of Tala, but nothing else in that area. So, I mean, I think I should probably grant that to someone. I mean, who have I got kicking around in my court? Is there anyone with good learning? Who isn't my court chaplain? Not really, no. Just wondering, do I just make him the bishop of that random place, just because we have no good use for him? Like, he's the son of Sebastianos. But I'm not sure I want to make him bishop while he's... let's send him a gift. Then ask him to convert to Catholicism. And then I'll make him a bishop. Hello, Pascalis. You are now Bishop of Tala. Have fun. Don't know why we ended up with just that one bishopric out of this war. I think something to do with how things were occupied over there. I don't know. Right, so we have a terrible factions problem. We actually mostly have a Duke CK of Tripolitana is a terrible factions problem, don't we? Happily, we have a pretty decent spy master. Let's see, Dash of Cyprus, Dash, CK, Ethelwine, CK, Venchel, Gregorios, Dinesh, Osmond. So the ones who appear twice are Dinesh, CK, and Ethelwine. Of those, CK is probably the most militarily dangerous. So let us send our spy master to scheme in Tripolitania. In the hope that we can discourage some factionalising from there. Yeah, we have weird inheritance situations. So this kid, he shouldn't be a serious problem. He's only a baron, so that shouldn't matter. Her heir. Yeah, similarly, I don't think these are serious problems. He's heir to a bunch of counties in odd places through his mother. And that's not a problem at all. That'll just inherit into our, yeah. I don't think that's a problem either. Right. So, I think that's more or less all we're going to do tonight. I think we've expanded the Kingdom of Egypt a bit, but I think we have to have a rest in part because our threat is getting a little worrying. How does that look for defensive pacts against us? I mean, yeah, there's still that Fatimid revolt that we could squish, and Macuria. I think Sirte is a member of a defensive pact. Oh no, yes, against Egypt that consists of her, which is really not going to help her, except that I'm not planning to attack her at all. And actually, the Muslim defensive pact consists of like those two. And possibly some of their vassals. Oh, and some guys over here, yes, okay. So that might be a bit dangerous. But they're probably quite small anyway. But, on the other hand, like, we don't need to expand quickly, really. But Sirte is a Crusader Queen, and, like... Oh, she's not stressed anymore, excellent. She is malnourished, but that's not nearly as bad as being stressed. And, like, that pushes down her fertility further, so... I mean, our aim really now is to get Princess Gerhild to be the next Queen of Egypt. So Queen Adalberta being malnourished and chaste is probably good. Right, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7 virtues, which is pretty decent. Oh, we can turn on the ability to lead armies now because she has a daughter. Right, so that will, I think, be all for tonight. Egypt is looking pretty big. Even with map distortion, it looks reasonably comparable in size with the HRE, though very much not in terms of population. And like her armies are nowhere near as big as they were. In part because she's slaughtered an awful lot of them. So I think it's time to have a rest and let them recover. and maybe get some more money. So that will be all. Yes, as David says, good night. Good night.